so many other folks, and so I just have to tell a quick story about each of them. Anyway, thanks for letting me come back to Michigan. I love this state. We had a crazy day. Started with kicking off phone bankers and block walkers in Ann Arbor, and then we went to Detroit, and then we've been in Bloomington Hill, I don't know, we're going to Lansing, wherever. Anyway, it's been great, but Brenda Lawrence is amazing, and some of you may know I got to spend a cool 5 hours testifying before Congress last fall. And if you ever needed a lesson in why we need a new leadership in Congress, that was a really good one. But I got through that because Brenda Lawrence was with me and with women the entire time. There is no stronger advocate, not only for folks in her district and folks in Michigan, but all across this country. She is such a star in Washington, D.C. Please keep sending her back to Washington, D.C. My favorite, so Debbie Stabenow, there's a million Debbie Stabenow stories because she's done a million fabulous things, but my favorite Debbie Stabenow story, and she is sick of hearing it, but some of you know when we worked to pass the Affordable Care Act, and it wasn't always easy, and it'd be shocking probably for you to find out that women's health care is something of a mystery to many, many members of Congress. Yes. And the fight for equity for women's health care was huge, but there was a great hearing at some point in which it was being discussed whether or not we should be covering maternity benefits for women under health insurance plans. Now you kind of think that's pretty much a no-brainer, but actually Senator John Kyle from Arizona said he didn't really believe that we should cover maternity benefits because he would never need them. Which seemed also pretty obvious. And Debbie Stabenow turned right back around and said, well, I bet your mother did. And my kids would say it was a sick burn, and that is why women have maternity benefits now in insurance plans all across America. And as Hillary said the other night, it was the women in the Senate, along with some colleagues that stood with them, that we now have no gender rating left in health insurance plans in America. Women don't have to pay more for health insurance for the first time in their lifetime. That's remarkable. And we know also that, of course, finally we can't be denied health insurance coverage because we've had breast cancer, or we've been a victim of domestic violence, or a whole host of reasons that women used to be denied health insurance coverage. So that was a huge victory as well. And lastly, one of the most important things that we fought for, it shouldn't have been as hard a fight as it was, but I mean, at Planned Parenthood, we had to bus thousands of people to Washington, D.C. to lobby, and young people had to dress up in giant birth control costumes on college campuses and advocate for what we now have, and that is birth control covered for 55 million women in this country at no cost. And that is what this is about. That is just one of the many issues that sort of is on the table here, because of course the Republicans in Congress have voted repeatedly because they can't pass any legislation, so all they do is they vote repeatedly to overturn the Affordable Care Act. And I, for one, have had the honor of getting to work with President Barack Obama and this administration for the last 8 years, and I just want to say for the record, Barack Obama will go down as one of the finest presidents in this country. That progress. And things like the Affordable Care Act, there's more work left to be done, but we need to start from where we are and build on it. And that's what Hillary Clinton will do. One of the reasons it's exciting to be here this weekend is that last Sunday, Planned Parenthood turned 100 years old in America. And thank you. I know it's been kind of an extraordinary. It's been an extraordinary time, and of course we've looked back at the progress women have made. So much more to do. But the progress women have made. I mean, back 100 years ago, women lived 30 years shorter lives because they did not have access to family planning. I mean, the two most common reasons that women died were either complications for pregnancy or tuberculosis. Now, we in fact not only have access to family planning, we have access to health care. We're half the college students, we are half the medical students, we're half the law students. They finally gave us the right to vote. Now we're a majority of voters in the United States of America. We have 3 women on the Supreme Court, and they are making a difference every single day. One of the lasting legacies of Barack Obama is Sonia Sotomayor and Elena Kagan. Supreme Court. I'll just tell you two other quick things. As Debbie pointed out, folks have been trying to defund Planned Parenthood, the Republicans in Congress and the Tea Party for the last several years. In fact, Mike Pence, who you may be familiar with, he was the last man standing. He was the only one who would take the job to run with and his entire political career has been about ending access to Planned Parenthood and women's rights, right? And he has been 1,000% unsuccessful in that, as well as everything else he's ever done, right? And so we've had to fight back, and because of a lot of folks standing with us, we've actually gained more supporters than ever. We now have 9 million supporters in the United States, which is 1.5 times the membership of the NRA, just if you're doing the math. And we're running the largest political program ever in our history through the Planned Parenthood Action Fund. We were talking to 3 million voters in this country. Reputation. Well, they just did a national poll, I think it was the Wall Street Journal, and they poll institutions and leaders, and there were three things they polled that equally tied as the most popular in the United States. The President of the United States, the FBI, and Planned Parenthood. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. And that's the work we have to do going forward. So now we got to elect Hillary. And I, like Debbie, that's what I have in mind. That's what I'm visualizing every day. And it's because years ago, I'm from Texas, as some of you may know. And so I've been in politics a long time. I've worked for a lot of women. And a lot of men running for office, although there's never been an election that I felt more passionately about than that. And that includes an election that we did in Texas to elect my mother, the first woman governor. But that moment of getting to walk across the bridge and inaugurate my mom was a day I'll never forget, and it's exactly what I'm thinking about with Hillary.
I was at your mom's inauguration.
Well, we're gonna have to do it together again. We're gonna have to do it together again. And it's the last thing I just wanted to say. I was in Las Vegas the other night for the debate, and she was extraordinary. She was absolutely extraordinary. And there were obviously a lot of important moments, but we have never had a candidate run for the President of the United States, the nominee of their party, stand up and say before 70 million viewers, I support women's rights, I support access to Planned Parenthood, and I support Roe versus Wade, and I have my entire lifetime. And that was so it is helping us in these last few days. I think we have got the wind in our sails. This is a woman who has been doing this her entire life, and she is going to be an extraordinary president. And so I too, I'm look forward to November 8th. We got a lot of work to do though. And Mona, thank you for making sure that we do it here, because we can't take anything for granted. The only way we lose this is if we don't get our folks out to vote. And so turn off the TV. Don't listen to the polls, because they don't matter. The only poll that matters now is who actually goes out and vote. And the number one reason people say they don't go vote after an election, and people say, well, how in the world did you? They said, well, no one ever asked me to. And so the phone calls that you make and the doors that we're knocking right now, that could be the difference here in Michigan, in Ohio, and all the other states across the country. So I look forward to being with you and Debbie and Brenda and all of you, getting your bus and, I don't know, hitchhike or take a carpool with friends, and we'll meet together January 20th in 2017 in Washington, D.C., and we're going to inaugurate the first woman president in the history of this country.
First of all, I know our guests would not want you to leave here without taking a clipboard today or signing up for a shift. So I sit here and I drink coffee. Maybe I'll have a pumpkin muffin. But the people who are really making this work are 7 incredible individuals that you're here for Hillary, but they helped to get you here for Hillary. So we're talking about Michael Luciani, you will have to meet up with these folks and sign up for shifts. I know that our wonderful women who just spoke to us would want you to do that. That's the only way we can win. That's the only way to make this meaningful. So we want everyone today to take a clipboard, get out there, knock and walk, and
Talk to voters.
I can barely chew gum and walk. So anyway, that's why I stay here in the highway. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mom.
Michael, you're going to talk about
Yeah.
staging.
So, everyone here that wants